Welcome to the Sovereign Teacher. I teach spiritual integration through tarot, family constellations, and embodiment. And today I'm going to do a reading for Leo because there is a full moon in Leo today. And this is it's called the snow moon. And what it has themes of needing to be seen, you needing to be seen, but also what is the purpose of your being seen for the whole collective? How is your being seen affecting the collective, and what is your intention? So these are the themes that are coming up. And this is a reading. I'm going to do the astrological reading for Leo. And what I'm realizing is these are readings, the astrological readings are my readings for the whole year of 2026 for each sign. So a lot of astrologers and tarot card readers do each month or each quarter readings. This is just going to be your astrological reading for the whole year. But it's going to reflect all of the zodiac signs that are within you as one. So I'm teaching spiritual integration. So I'm helping you to see all the different parts of yourself and how they connect. And so my question is, how is your soul being invited to live in alignment with the new earth? The new earth being living from the heart, living integrated with your spirit. Not pretending that we're just a human here, but recognizing our spirituality and our connection to everything. And so for each astrological sign, there's going to be a question based on the house. And I'm just going to start. So this is for Leo, and this is your astrological reading for the year for 2026. Leos. You big-hearted Leos. My grandmother was a Leo, and I was very close to my grandmother. She was very humble, but she did have a big heart. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Divine Beloved deck to set a prayer or an intention around our reading. Oh, those cards were upside down. Okay. So just tuning in, Leo. I feel a lot of warmth with Leo through my heart and all around me. It's just a big energy. I can't really make this up. It's just when you're in alignment and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, or what you're meant to be doing. I don't want to say supposed to be doing, but what you're meant to be doing. Everything just aligns, and it's just so beautiful. It's like poetry in motion. So you got the heart card. I allow love to lead. Change me, Divine Beloved, into one who can allow love to lead my life. May I offer myself completely to the highest, so all may occur as needed. Grant me peace and contentment wherever I am. Use me for the greatest good. Also, my boyfriend is a Leo rising, and with him I just feel this big heart energy, like a lot of warmth, a lot of heart, and a lot of passion. So I'm just connecting to that beautiful Leo energy. And that is our prayer. So grant me peace and contentment wherever I am. Use me for the greatest good. Amen. And so it is. And so you remember. Okay, so moving on. So the way that I'm doing these readings is I'm using the archetype cards first, and then the Light Seer's Tarot. And that's how I've been doing it, and I'm just going to continue to do that until and unless I'm guided to do something else. Okay, so the first house is Aries, and we're going to ask, where are you being called to begin? So the main question again is, how is your soul being invited to live in alignment with the new earth or with your higher self? And the first question is in Aries, the first house Aries, which is the I am house, your identity, is where are you being called to begin? I repeat myself a lot because I used to teach college, community college, and I found that you have to repeat yourself a lot. And also because as a therapist, I found that you have to repeat yourself a lot because people aren't always ready for the message. So, and people need context. So you got Judge and Midas, Miser. Okay. So these are the archetypes that you're working with and where you're being called to begin. So the Judge light attributes are balancing justice and compassion and managing fair distribution of power. How are you judging yourself and how are you judging others? And in A Course in Miracles, they talk about everything is either a miracle or a grievance. So you can just kind of ask yourself, you know, am I judging this to be a miracle or a grievance? And that kind of tunes you back into where you want to be. The shadow attributes are offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. And the Midas, Miser light attributes are entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold, delight in sharing life's riches. Shadow attributes are hoarding money and emotions, obsessive fear of losing your wealth. Okay, so these are the main themes that you're working with and where you're going to begin. You're going to begin looking at your Judge and looking at your Midas, Miser tendencies. You have the ability, and we're going to put it all in the context of the Leo moon, full moon right now, which is illuminating what you want to shine out into the world and in balance with what you're offering to the world is. It's not just about you, putting that in the perspective of the collective. What are you offering the world? So it has to do with balancing justice and compassion and managing the fair distribution of power and your ability to create anything, turning anything into gold, especially if you're aligned in your purpose. And your purpose is always going to have to do with serving humanity, serving the collective. We're also in Aquarius, so we're in the age, people say the age of Aquarius, but also right now we are in the months of Aquarius, the time period of Aquarius. So it's today is February 1st, so we're in Aquarius. Okay. And it's the beginning of the year, so this is what's starting out. This is how we're starting our new year. So the second house is Taurus, and that's about value and safety, your body's worth, your nervous system, and your money. Oh, let's do the late seers tarot cards first. We're going to get some. I try to get one, but sometimes more than one jumps out. So that means we take it because that's a message. That balance between what our mind and our spirit. The masculine and the feminine, or the yin and the yang. We have an intention, but we're also receiving information back from the universe or God, and we pay attention to that. So you got the 10 of Swords upside down. So you have some endings, but I want to see what that means upside down. So let's get that. Endings and new beginnings. You can see she's looking at the horizon and there's a new day. Okay. So there's like some not wanting to let go of negative emotions. Oh, and this probably fits with the Miser card. A narrative rooted in lack and helplessness. Maybe you've experienced some loss. in some area of your life. So there's a feeling of you're recovering, really. You're recovering from a loss. And that has to be acknowledged. We can't move forward until we acknowledge that. So acknowledging that you've experienced a great loss, and you're maybe wondering, like, what's going to fill that space? There will be something that fills that space, but for right now, you can fill it with love and appreciation for yourself and what you've experienced, what you've been through. Okay, so we're going to move on to the second house, Taurus, which I have Taurus in my 4th house, which is Cancer in the house of home. So I get confused sometimes because you have different signs in different houses, but these are what lives naturally in these houses. The sign that naturally lives in these houses. Okay, so it's about value, safety, your body worth, and your nervous system, and money. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the archetype cards. So there's a little bit of disorder. Whatever comes up is really part of the message, and it's different for each sign. So I'm feeling a little bit of disorder, like going back into things and healing things, and then coming out and starting something new. And then it's not a perfect process. There's something ending and something new is beginning. And that's okay. All right, that's just these are the blank cards that are part of the deck, but so it's probably acknowledging that there is a space right now. There is a hole right now. You're experiencing a hole, and you just want to fill that with love and light. So just be mindful. I'm feeling it right here in my 3rd chakra. So just breathing in there. And that is the light that we shine out into the world. That is somewhat our I am center, which would be the Aries, the 1st house. But how we experience it in the body and our self-worth and value. Okay, so you got the athlete card for this one. So the question is, what wants to be stabilized or embodied? And you got the athlete for this one. So it's a dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. So, and the shadow attributes are a misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, a false sense of invulnerability, and entitlement. So let's get a little more information about that from the tarot. Oh no, that is way too many cards. Whew. Okay, we just want 1 or 2, please. Okay, we got 1. 4 of Wands. Okay. So they're dancing and celebrating. And Wands are like a fire energy, which is Leo is also a fire sign. And it looks like celebration. Okay, let's see how that card goes with the athlete card. And what that card's trying to tell us. Stability in home and relationships sometimes signifies marriage. I am devoted to my connectedness, and I celebrate the wonder of loving bliss with my community. Okay, so maybe your connection to community has something to do with your physical development, personal willpower and strength of spirit. I'm not getting, so the question again, we'll go back to the question, what wants to be stabilized or embodied? Okay, so it's, what wants to be stabilized or embodied is your stability in your home and your relationships. And that's got to balance your willpower and your strength of spirit. And the shadow attribute is the false sense of invulnerability or entitlement. So maybe you need to be able to be a little more vulnerable in your relationships, allowing yourself to be more vulnerable in your relationships and allowing your heart to lead. So balancing your willpower with your heart. You have some intentions, they're pretty strong, but you have to balance that with your sense of vulnerability and lead with your heart. Sometimes your heart just pushes too much, is what I'm getting from that. So just relaxing and dancing with it and moving with it and just allowing it to kind of settle into your body and dancing with it, playing with it, and not pushing so much. That's what I'm getting from that card. And that will help you to embody that. To embody that celebration of your spirit and transcend your physical limits. And going back to the Miser card, turning everything into gold. Being more playful and less pushy is what I'm getting from it. But you tune into what's coming up for you. Okay, so Gemini, we're moving into the third house of Gemini. And Gemini is mind and meaning. And the question is, what story is being told? It's very interesting working with each sign because I get different feelings with each sign. And so I'm trying to interpret them at the same time as I'm doing the cards. Okay, you keep getting these cards, which I just want to take out, but it does mean something. So you're getting this space. Create space is the message that I'm getting. It's okay for you to create space and not to know. So allow yourself to create space and stop trying to push. I'm feeling this push, like this very strong push, like right from here. Like you keep pushing yourself. So just relax, create space and stillness. It's okay not to know. All right, so Gemini mind meaning, what story is being told? Priest. Facilitates spiritual commitments, serves as a channel of spiritual energy. Okay, so you do want to create that space for that energy to come through, for that spiritual energy to come through. And it does come through your heart. So breathe and create space for it to come through. And the shadow attributes are violates the trust of your spiritual community, seduced by your own spiritual role. Okay, so let's get more information from the tarot. I'm also feeling a lot of pressure in my head. Like you put a lot of pressure on yourself. Like you do feel like you have this higher calling and it's pushing you right now, and you want to just create space for yourself. Breathe. Oh, I need to get the cards before I look in the book. Like a little bit of dizziness in my head too. Geez, you've got too many cards here, but these are important, so we're gonna go with them. The story is the 10 of Cups, the Knight of Swords, which is upside down, and the Strength card. Okay, so what's being told is the story that's being told. Let's see. Is you want this overall happiness. You're looking for all this overall happiness in every area of your life. And you're pushing and you're using your physical strength to push for this. And the Knight of Swords upside down is probably going to be the key right here. So we're going to look at that. It's upside down. So unfocused and scattered energy, impatience, acting too quickly. That's what I'm feeling. It's just this impatience and acting too quickly, then the need for a logical solution, feeling held back, frustration, being hard-edged and emotionally unavailable. And it's about moving too quickly. So we want to create more space. Breathe. Breathe and create more space. And so I'm going to give you an affirmation to turn this right side up is, I move in alignment with all parts of myself, integrated and aligned. Okay, and we're going to move into the 4th house, Cancer, which is belonging and attachment, and what needs to be held. Oh, this is going to be a good one for you, I think, because I think this is a good place to, and this house is very, like, this is like in our unconscious, like what we're not aware of usually. So this is the part of you that needs to be held and seen, acknowledged. Ooh, gosh. You got a lot of cards for this, but I think you need them. Okay, so you got the dilettante, the part of you that delights in arts without having to be a professional. Doing what you love without worrying about the outcome. The child divine, innocence, purity, and redemption. This is a big quality of Leo. Like your playful child. This is a big quality of Leo. The shadow attribute is an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. And I think that's the part that's coming up that needs to be just held. You have experienced loss and you need to just hold that part of you that's feeling a little fragile. And get more in touch with your innocence and your purity and your playfulness. And then the God card, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. So your connection with everything, with life and with others. You're holding that, and that's a lot to hold. And then the Don Juan, this is the part of you that wants to be seen, the part of you that that struggles for recognition. Spotlights your positive, seductive qualities. It's okay to have these positive, seductive qualities in balance. The shadow attribute is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So you just want to keep these all in balance and just hold them all. These are all parts of you that need to be held. So just sit with each one of them and find out what it needs. Breathe into it. And those are all in your 4th house of Cancer. Belonging and attachment, where you belong. part of your purpose, what you bring to the world. I feel you now, opening that space. That's beautiful. You're releasing and relaxing and letting go a little bit. So we're going to get more from the tarot. What needs to be held? We may not get much from the tarot because we got a lot from the archetype cards. Okay, the Two of Wands. So making progress. Part of you that wants to make progress and find possibilities. The choice between your comfort zone and new adventures. So that's what I'm feeling, is this kind of push-pull energy of you want this new adventure and you're afraid because of the loss that you've experienced. So the part that's pushing you is what you want to hold, and it may have to do with all of these cards. Struggling to be seen. Wanting these parts of you to have a place. Each part to have a place. And they do. They all have a place. So you want them all to be seen and to have a place, but you're afraid that maybe they won't. And so you want to go on this new adventure and experience this, but there's a little bit of fear. And the fear is operating as pushing now. And instead of letting it push you, just listen to it. What is it telling you? Acknowledge it. Make space for it. Hold it. Love it. Okay, now we're moving into Leo, into your house, the 5th house, and this is the house of creativity, leadership, and joy. And the question is, where does my soul want to shine? Okay, where does your soul want to shine? Ooh, okay. Damsel, understanding the nature of healthy romance inspires you to rely on yourself. Okay. So your soul wants to shine in this area of romance. And it doesn't have to be romance with a person. It can be the romance of life, you know? But it's recognizing your own sovereignty. The shadow attributes are waiting for a knight to provide for you, and seduction by romantic illusion. That there's something out there that's going to fulfill you that you don't have in here. Yes, we do need to experience healing through relationship, but we have to be able to access that within ourselves first. Okay, so you want a romance with life. That's where your soul wants to shine. You want to experience that romance in life and with life. That leading with your heart and being met by heart, being met by love, which we're going to get to. Where am I being met by other. We're going to get to that one. That's in our 7th house, Libra. Okay, so let's get more about our 5th house. Where does your soul want to shine? Ooh. And you got the 5 of Swords here. If you look, he's got like a headache, and that's that pressure that I'm talking about. But if behind him, there's another figure with their arms open. And it's just saying, come to me, relax into me, let go, surrender. Your needs are all being met. God, the universe, your higher self hears you and is responding. You can let go. Okay. Let me just make sure there's no more messages in that card for you. I feel you softening. That's good. So it's building your confidence. You experienced a loss, and now you're being a little hard on yourself. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself. But just acknowledge the lessons of your loss. Because the affirmation is, the lessons move me ahead always. And I think it's very related to what I experienced, which is, you don't have to work to be loved. You can just be yourself and you will attract the right people for you. Stop pushing and working so hard to gain the approval of others who aren't meant for you. They're not right for you. It's either timing or just not the right path for you. Those people aren't your people. This is what I learned, is just, you can just be you and you will attract what's right for you. You don't have to work to be loved. And I do feel like there's a bigger message there, but I haven't gotten the full message yet. And we all get it in our own time. You can't force it or push it. Okay, so it's the balance between the masculine and the feminine, the yin and the yang. The exerting force, or acting on the world and receiving. It's that balance. We're very heavily into acting and doing, and we need to be able to learn how to receive and be. Okay, so now we're moving into the 6th house of Virgo, which is integration and repair. What needs tending and refining? And I always think of Virgo as like order. Gambler, willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. Okay, so that's what needs to be refined, is your ability to trust your intuition, and even when others doubt you. Okay, so refining your ability to listen to your intuition. Where did I put those cards? Right here. Okay. Okay, and you got the 5 of Cups, the 10 of Wands. I love it. Okay, so you need to put down a burden that you've been carrying. There's some kind of burden that it's not yours. You need to put it down. Let it go. What is this burden that you're carrying? Ooh, I feel it like in the back of my neck. Ugh. Let it go. It's not yours. You're carrying something for other people and it's not yours. Let it go. Just tune into that energy, like I'm feeling it in the back of my head and my neck, that pressure. What can I release? How can I let this go? Whew. Taking the gifts of it, and then see, there are some gifts from it. So really taking the gifts of that story that you had lived. What are the gifts and the lessons? That's what you want to keep. And everything else you want to let it go. And so I love this card for the burden, because in IFS, or in internal family systems, we actually want to take that burden and find some way of letting it go, putting it into the earth, burying it, burning it, letting it go into the air, putting it in the water, drowning it. Like earth, air, fire, water, all these things go together. But find some way and imagine that of letting go of your burden. How do you want to let it go? Imagine it, taking it off your shoulders, taking that yoke off your shoulders. And I'm imagining it burning it, because Leo is a fire sign, so I want you to kind of put that yoke in the fire. Feels like a yoke. It's yoking you to a story that you're ready to let go of. So putting it in a fire and burning it and letting it go. It's not yours. You learned your lessons. You paid the price for probably your ancestors too. So take the gold from that and let everything else go. So that is what needs to be tended and refined, alchemized. Okay, so now we'll move into Libra, the 7th house. Where am I being met by relational other? This is relational truth. Where am I being met by other? And this is part of your, where you want to shine. So this is going to be a good one for you. I'm still feeling lightheaded. Like now I'm feeling lightheadedness right here in my third eye, which is your third eye is your area of intuition. And it's feeling cloudy and like there's a lot coming into that area, a lot of other people's voices maybe. And then I'm also feeling it in my heart, some pain here. Things that other people told you. Martyr, you got the martyr for this one. Light attribute is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Shadow attribution is addiction to self-pity, this is part of letting go of the story. You had a significant loss. And you're going to learn learn the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. You're going to transcend that through service to yourself, which is the cause. When you serve yourself, your higher self, that's your gift to the world. So that's how you're being met. And let's get more information from the tarot. You're being met by yourself, your higher self. And you're going to let go of your addiction to self-pity. And you're going to really love yourself and what you've come through. Your service to yourself is your service to your cause. So what in your story, what drives you? And it's the martyr card. So what would you be willing to die for? You're not being asked to die, but you're being asked to surrender. 8 of Swords. Four of Swords upside down. And the Queen of Wands, your passion, your creativity. Oh, these are good cards. Okay. What are you afraid to see? And you're being called to rest and go within. Hi, I'm doing a reading, babe.
What was that?
I'm doing a reading. Did you need me?
No. Do you want one of these chickens out?
Yeah, and there's no room in the freezer, so.
Okay.
I guess we'll have to put, I don't know. I don't know what to do with the other one. I don't think you're going to be able to find a place in the freezer. Okay, and the Queen of Wands. So your fiery creative passion. Let's see how these go together. Okay, the Eight of Swords. Right? Well, I took some stuff out, so maybe there's room now. What? Oh, good. All right, thanks. Okay, so this one is saying you're not recognizing the dangers of burnout. You need to spend time recovering and on self-care. So dedicating your energy to self-care, which is part of the Martyr card. You have to recognize how you're kind of murdering yourself by not caring for yourself and spending time recovering. And the affirmation is, I give myself permission to slow down and heal. I am free to choose my healing and my light. Okay, so this is actually, I think, speaking to the learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or cause. And going back to the original question, which is, or the original theme of Leo right now, Leo and Aquarius, the full moon in Leo. You do need to shine in the world, but what are you serving? What is the cause that you're serving? And it has to do with your personal story. So, a time to open your eyes to your truth, having more options than you thought, and an opportunity to let go of an old story. Because it says, letting go of that being a victim, feeling like you're a victim, letting go of that, and finding what you're grateful for. I'm going to read this one. This is a gentle reminder that you create your reality. Look beyond the veil of illusion that your current limitations are projecting. If you are feeling trapped with no path forward, remember that this too is a perspective that can be lifted. When you choose sovereignty over victimhood, you become the fierce wielder of choice. You can free yourself from your shackles and shift your outcome dramatically by accepting that you are the one person who is responsible for your happiness. And maybe your first life was just telling you what didn't make you happy. And now you get to choose what does, because you're learning what does. Create infinite portals of possibility by becoming the solution. We're never really stuck. Nurture your soul and spend the time you need to transmute any feelings of helplessness. So take the time to recover and take care of those feelings of helplessness. While you can't control every experience that is put on your path, you can definitely work on how you respond to each one. Acknowledge, give it space. Let go of the old stories and be vigilant of any walloping, low-vibe thoughts that you may be holding on to. Reframe your experiences as lessons and choose to heal. I am free to choose my healing and my light. Okay. All right, so that was Libra. So now we're moving into Scorpio. It's the 8th house. And it's the shadow or power. What must be felt, released, and transformed? Again, I'm feeling that dizziness, and it's moving down into my 2nd chakra. I think that's the sacral chakra. It's the color orange. It's our creativity, our power, and our sexual energy. So maybe the cards will have to do with that. What must be felt, released, and transformed? Let's see. Visionary. Okay. Capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others. Willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Shadow attributes. Selling insights to the highest bidder. Compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Okay. Let's get more information from the tarot on that. So that is what needs to be felt, released, and transformed. So you need to know that you are a visionary. This is a gift that you have, and don't make it small. Don't make yourself small. The world needs your vision. And you got the 7 of Cups and the Devil upside down for this one. So let's see what this is all about. Okay. The 7 of Cups is saying you're not trusting yourself, to me, and that you need to, like, focus on, like, you need to build your confidence in your vision, in your gift of vision. Okay, and the Devil is upside down. So release, freedom from addiction. You're on the cusp of a breakthrough. Liberation. But what might be blocking you is not wanting to see your role in a negative circumstance. Realizing that you're giving your power away, feeling helpless, and breaking the chains. So there's still something that you're not wanting to see. And it's affecting your ability to be confident in yourself and your vision, because you're not seeing yourself accurately. And you're judging yourself, which is going back to the first card that you got, which is balancing justice and compassion for yourself. And you're feeling that something is going to be taken from you, but it's not going to be taken from you if it's meant for you. Okay, so now we're going to move into 9 Sagittarius, the 9th house of Sagittarius, which is meaning and vision. What larger truth is guiding you? Child wounded, which might be your why, and prostitute. Accentuates the challenge of surviving without negotiating the power of your spirit. Places material considerations and security above self-empowerment. And the child wounded, the light attributes are awakens compassion and desire to serve others, to serve other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. So who are you drawn to helping? The shadow attributes blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. Resist moving on through forgiveness. Ultimately, it's always about forgiving ourselves. But there's usually one person that we're also struggling with, and it's usually a mother or father figure. When it gets right down into the core of things. So placing materialism over self-empowerment, and awakening and compassion and desire to serve others. So this is kind of competing in you now. Let's get more information from and what you're trying to make meaning out of. What is the larger truth that's guiding you? Like feeling like you had to prostitute yourself in some way. Instead of being in your power. And then your own wounded child. You're resisting moving on through forgiveness. You're holding on to that story. But really looking at that wounded child and holding that wounded child that prostituted itself for love and acceptance and approval and belonging. We all need to belong. And if you came into this world and you didn't feel like you belonged in your own family, I experienced that too. You maybe didn't feel like you belonged here. But you do. And the world needs you, especially now. You need that heart energy. Okay, and you got the Page of Wands and the Nine of Swords. All right, so this is this new beginner's energy. Like you're beginning to open your heart and follow your heart and your creative passion, and you're scared. And you have all these voices are like criticizing and shutting you down. So you got this fight going on within you. And you're trying to understand it. And the need is to move through forgiveness. It's about forgiveness. So forgiving maybe a parent or a child or a significant other, and ultimately yourself, because we blame ourselves for being put in those positions. But we have to learn, right? We're all learning. So be gracious with yourself. Be graceful, be gentle with yourself. Okay, so now we're gonna move into the 10th house, which is Capricorn, which is about I can't write. Cooperation and teamwork. And taking responsibility. So what am I being asked to take responsibility for? Oh wow, that's a lot of cards. Okay, you have a lot of responsibilities. All right, healing. Passion to serve others by repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Ability to help transform pain into healing. So this might just be your own healing that you're being asked to take responsibility for. But in healing yourself, you'll be a healing light to others. And the shadow side is failing to take care of yourself. Like you care a lot about others, but you're not taking care of yourself. And then the Knight, loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. So wanting to be the knight in shining armor, but you know, being maybe a little bit too romantic about that and thinking that you have to do more than you actually have to do. You can just be a light, just be you. A mediator. Light attributes: gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. So this is something you're being asked to take responsibility for, probably because you're good at that. You're good at mediating. And the shadow attribute is negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda. Like maybe you feel like you have to earn your worth and you don't. So you can stop pushing there. Samaritan refines your capacity to help those you would prefer to ignore. Shadow attribute is exacting appreciation and recognition for help you offer. So wanting too much to be, you know, just it being a little bit out of balance. So you like to help, and you also like to receive acknowledgement for that help, and that's in balance. The warrior: strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice in conquering the ego. So you're being asked to take responsibility for this. Nature: friendship with animals, communicate with nature spirits, child nature, this aspect of you. And the rebel: challenges authority to effect social change, rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. Okay, so all of these parts of yourself you're being asked to take responsibility for, which means that maybe there's some parts of you that you're not acknowledging or you're trying to push away, and these are all beautiful parts of you when they're in balance. So taking responsibility for all these parts of you and acknowledging them so they don't become okay. I don't want that many, though, just a few. I'm taking responsibility for my part that likes to eat too much. Okay. So let's get more tarot cards for that. But these are important. I just want to put these out there again because these are all parts of you that you need to acknowledge and love. Your ability to heal yourself. You have a natural healing light, and that's going to affect others when you heal yourself. So take that time, rest, and rejuvenate. You want to be this knight in shining armor, and you naturally are. You want to help others. You have a natural gift for mediation. But don't sacrifice yourself, and that would be the Samaritan too. You know, you're good at not doing it for appreciation, but you also deserve to be appreciated. You are a warrior. And just don't let your ego get out of control there. And you are a hero. And you have like this natural tendency, this childlike nature, connecting with animals. All of these parts of you have a place in the world, and a rebel. And you have to give them a place in yourself first, though. Really love all these parts of you and give them a place in you. Recognize them, acknowledge them, love them. Give them a place in your life, a physical place in your life. And stop being all about work and being so driven. Really relax. Find a place for all of these parts of you. Okay, I'm not doing a tarot card for that because there's just way too many cards there. So we're gonna just go with that. So that's Capricorn. And you have time to do that. Time to find space for all of these parts of you and where they fit in the world. You are a beautiful soul, and the world needs your light and your presence. Okay, and number 11, house 11, Aquarius, liberation and the new earth. What wants to evolve beyond the old system? Okay, what wants to evolve in you beyond the old system? Your king energy, your sovereignty, your mentorship, passing on wisdom and refining a student's, you're passing on wisdom. So your sovereignty, your enlightened, benevolent, but you're a natural leader, and Leos usually are. So you're a king, you're going to pass on your wisdom, your sovereignty. Detective, great, but you have great powers of observation and intuition and desire to seek out the truth. These are all your gifts that want to evolve and be seen. And your prince, your romantic charm and potential for power. It's safe for you to experience your power in balance. As you integrate all these parts of yourself, you're going to feel more and more safe to experience your power. Okay, and we did get a 4 of Pentacles. So it's knowing your resources, holding on to them, valuing your resources. And your resources are you. You are your greatest resource. And everything you've learned on your journey, who you naturally are, and everything that you've learned on your journey. Okay. You need to value these aspects of yourself before you're going to be given, before you're going to see any value coming back at you in the world. You need to really value them yourself. Okay, in the last house, 12th house, Pisces, surrender and spirit. Where do I release and trust the mystery? So where can I release and trust the mystery? Slave. Okay. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So that's exactly where you need to surrender. And this is the slave. Okay. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. So you're only going to be a slave to your own spirit, which is the divine. It's your spirit is your connection to everything, to God, to life, to everything. So you're surrendering to the highest good, to your higher self. You're going to be a slave to your higher self. That's so Pisces. Okay. When you got the Hanged Man, which is surrender. You're so in alignment right now. You're so in alignment right now. Let's just see if there's any other message there. It's just a double message of surrender. Surrender to your higher self, to your highest self. You're already getting these messages. Let go of the old story that you're telling yourself. And I'm just going to go back to this and we're going to end with this. Heart, I allow love to lead. Change me, divine beloved, into one who can allow love to lead my life. You're all about love. May I offer myself completely to the highest, so all may occur as needed. Grant me peace and contentment wherever I am. Use me for the greatest good. Amen. And so it is, and so you remember. Namaste. The light in me sees and acknowledges the light in you. I love you, Leos.